So, if you are like most business owners, you started this business so you could provide for you, your family, and then every year you get hit with this massive tax bill. You think you're doing a great job, you're making good money, but then you owe the government 20, 50, 80, $100,000, and now you're that much more behind. I'm going to show you today a very common way of what I see clients, business owners just like you, recording their income in QuickBooks Online that is overstating their income, saying they're making more money than what they're actually taking home. And the results of that is paying more taxes. So let's go ahead, let's hop into QuickBooks and I can show you how to make sure you're actually capturing the correct amount of revenue so you don't have to pay more taxes than you should be. But if you are new here, my name is Katrina. My business partner Cheryl and I run and own Empower to Profit, where we work with small business owners just like you, so you can take home more of the money you earn to you and your family, and then share that with the community that you're a part of. So let's go ahead, let's hop into today's video so we can make sure that you don't have to pay a dime more in taxes than you should be. So here we are in our sample company in QuickBooks Online. So to get us started, we're going to go to our transaction tab over here on the left, and then start in our bank transactions here. So this is where you're going to see your bank feed, and this is where we are going to start applying payments so that we're not duplicating any income. Because if we duplicate income, that means we're overstating how much money we made on our profit and loss report, which is what tax preparers use to file your taxes. And they're going to see the incorrect number on your profit and loss report, which is going to cause you to pay more in taxes, which none of us ever want to do. So let's walk through the right way of how to do this. So let's pretend we received a payment for this $103.55. And we received this a couple days ago. And so when we received the check, we came into QuickBooks and we marked who we received the check from, Travis Waldron. And he paid us on January 24th. He paid us by a check. The check was number 852. And then we deposited it to our checking account here. You want to be sure you're choosing the correct bank account of where you're actually going to deposit the money. And he paid us $103.55. So you can see it automatically selected this invoice, which is what he was paying on. So that is all correct here. If it doesn't pre-select, you're just going to choose which invoice you're applying that payment to. So we're going to save and close this. Now QuickBooks knows that we've received a payment for $103.55. And you can see here, this was where the check was deposited. So this is when the check was deposited into the bank. So we're going to select this. If we push this through on its own, that's when our income will be duplicated. It's going to record this bank transaction once and the received payment once, meaning you're actually going to be receiving the $103.55 two times instead of one time. And you only actually receive the payment one time, so we only want to capture it one time. So instead of just pushing this through as income, we're actually going to match it. And you can see here, QuickBooks used its AI brain to find that there was a matching payment for that same transaction amount, $103.55. So we are going to match that in our bank feed to that received payment. And then that should kick it out of the bank feed and into your categorized transactions here. Perfect. Okay, so the next thing we're going to review is what to happen when you deposit multiple checks at once, and then you see this big lump sum of $408, but you don't know what checks there were. Okay, so what we need to do is create a deposit. Now QuickBooks thinks there's one here, but when we go into it, you can see there's nothing there. So we have to create it. So what we're going to do for that is come make a new deposit. This is going to my checking account. And the amount is for, if you remember from the bank feed, it's $408. So I know that that's multiple checks. And I have already recorded my received payments. And then I deposited those checks. So if I don't match those received payments to that 408 in the bank feed and I just push it through to the bank feed, it's going to duplicate it. So I need to match the received payment to the invoice, which I've already done. Now I need to create a deposit and connect that to the $408 in the bank fee. That way, everything comes through as one income instead of duplicated income. So I know this 408 for my bank statement is the check I got from Amy's Bird Sanctuary and the check that I got from John Melton. That comes out to the $408. And you can see the checks here, the check numbers. We're depositing it to our checking account, and then the date that we deposited it. So we are going to save and close this. And then we come to our 408 here. We're looking for a match. And you can see how it's finding multiple combinations of how I could be recording that payment. So it's finding one payment and then another payment and applying it to 3 invoices. Very messy. There's other multiple invoices and payments that could also work. And if you go through, you'll see the different combinations of outstanding payments and invoices that you could potentially match it to, which is why we do the deposit. So you can see that deposit I just created here matches perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and match it to that deposit. And when I match it to the deposit, it pushes it into this categorized right over here. And then that will flow beautifully to our profit and loss report. And to see that report, I'm going to come here, profit and loss. And then those revenue numbers are captured in these income lines up here. And that is how you do not duplicate payments, received payments, and income from the transactions bank fee. How you record your income correctly in QuickBooks Online. I hope you guys found that helpful. If you did, if you could please like this video and subscribe to our channel. That way you will always get the most up-to-date videos that we are dropping. We are here to help small business owners make their accounting easy and answer all of your questions. If you have any comments or questions about this video, I would love to hear about them down in the comments. But as always, cheers to profit.